yesterday. So let me share my screen. Today I want us just to run some concepts. Let me share my screen. Are you guys able to? Someone can just confirm. You guys are able to see my screen. All right, good. So yesterday we left at a point where we were just making some simple queries using select, and I think I should also open my workbench as well. So select command is such a powerful command for querying your database. And also it comes with it can be used with so many other commands to retrieve data of your choice. So today, I think yesterday we checked a where condition, and if you guys you can't remember, I think I can just let me connect to my SQL 80. I think I have my database here. So yesterday we created a database that is called school. Let's see what we have in this school database. You can check. No, we were using the bounty company database where we created a table that is called employees. And in fact, we can use the select command to retrieve all the information in that database. Um, so I think we have a different command here. I don't know if you guys you can notice that we have select from a bounty dot employees. This is because I just used this icon to retrieve the data. If I just highlight this employee table, and if you can see, we have three icons here. If I just select this one with something looking like a table, and with a flash icon here, if I just hit that, I should be able to retrieve I should be able to retrieve all the data in that table. So that's why we are getting bounty dot employees, because we have not used the command that we were using yesterday. This command that we want to use. We want to use bounty underscore company database. Then you can just have a semicolon and then run this. So without having run this, like if you don't run this command, use bounty company. Then in each query, you must include, you must specify that you are using this database. So like we had previously. Let me show you. So it's select from and then bounty dot employees. I just happen like to remove the bounty part, and then I run this command. Let's see what we. I think we are getting the output because we had already said that we want to use the bounty analytica, the bounty underscore company database. So, but if let's say let me just try to use a different database here, and you notice the difference. Let's say I want to select from brands. Brands is a table in bike store. So let's see what happens. And I notice that I'm getting an error here. Select from brands. We are getting that bounty underscore company dot brands does not exist simply because I use bounty underscore company database, and bounty underscore company database does not have this table. So it's always advisable for you to use this command, use, and then you indicate the database that you want to use before even running any other any other command. So I think that's all. So I think we can just get into today's work. Uh, and I think yesterday I said something that with this select you can either retrieve all the records or retrieve maybe some chosen records based on maybe the condition that you want to pass. Like yesterday, we were able to use the select with where condition, whereby we were retrieving data based on salary. I think if I get back to to this employee table here, I think we tried to. Oops. Let me just try to retrieve this again. Yeah, we try to retrieve data where salary is greater than 50,000, where salary is less than 45,000. So it's using select with where clause. It's called the where clause. Uh, and I think I showed you the syntax. So it's always select and then all, or maybe a column name, and then from you indicate the table name, and then you write your condition. You can go on and on as and then maybe even you can go down and even add order by. We are going to see the order by clause in it alone, but in this case now I think you can just use the where. So let's see how you can you notice that yesterday when we use, let me show you something here. When you just use select all from employee, should be employees, and then we are using a where clause where let's say we are using salary. Salary is greater than let's say you can just use as oops salary is greater than 45,000, and then we add a semicolon. So if I run this, you notice that I'm getting the data for all columns. right? But you can retrieve data of specific columns. Let's say we want just to get we just want to get the employee name and the salary that he or she earns. So we don't want like to include the employee ID. We don't want to include the city. So with now with the select with the select clause, we can retrieve that. And how do we do that? So we just have to use like select. We use the select. This is the syntax. Select. Now we are going to indicate the number of the field names that you want to retrieve. We are not going to use the asterisk here, because this asterisk means that we want to retrieve all the fields. But in this case, we want to get the emp. Let me just the emp. Is it emp underscore name, right? Then the other one is we want the salary column. Then we want to select this from employees. You indicate the database name. So employees. Then maybe we can also add the where clause where salary, let's talk of salary being greater than 45,000. Then we add a semicolon. So now with this one we are going just to retrieve the employee name column and the salary column, and then the rest just remain the same. We're just trying to retrieve these from employees, and we're indicating that we just want salary for employees that earns more than 45,000. So if we execute these, let's see what you're going to get. Oops, I think we should add a comma here. Let's run that again and see this. So now you notice the output for this query. We are just getting the employee name and the salary column. Is that clear? Any question from any question on that? So you just have like to indicate the columns that you want to retrieve, and then from the data the table that you want to retrieve from, and then the condition, you pass the condition here where salary is greater than 45,000. So any question up to that point? Any question? Do you have any question, Victor? Gilbert, are we good up to that point?
Yes, we are good.
I think we can proceed. So that is basically that. So you can also change this condition and maybe say you want to retrieve what? To retrieve salary that is greater or equal to uh 45,000. Let's see what we have. And you notice that now we also retrieving the salary for Charlotte, because Charlotte earns 45,000, and in our condition we said that we want to retrieve salary that is greater or equal to 45,000. So that is how you can use select. Uh, before the end of this course, you're going to see how even you can modify these names such that you can have these as full name. And yeah, because you notice that in here we are using the name that is in the database. There is a way you can change this using something we call as. So like we have the complete name, employee names, instead of using the name that is in the database. But you're going to see that. Uh, let's continue. We are not going to use order at this stage, because order it's a clause on itself. I think you're going to learn this. Um, so I think you have already seen these to make select query. Uh, I think you have also seen these how you can select name, city from our table. So let's proceed. And we are saying that we can also eliminate duplicate values in a column. And how we eliminate duplicate values in a column. We use the distinct clause. So like in this case here, let's get into this table here, whereby we have in this table that is called student. We have the student ID, we have the name, we have the first name, date of birth, city, and the class. So if we use the select name, city from the student, we are getting these. We are getting this table. That is Kinabita. We have Shahrukh, Irfan, Salman, Abhishek. Um, and we are saying that if if you use the select city from this, you notice that there is a we have Jaipur. No, we have Allahabad, Delhi, Jaipur, and then we have Mumbai. And you notice that Mumbai is repeated. So this happens, especially if you have not even for any database. You can if you have you can find maybe student living in the same city. Like in this case, let me see. Uh, Let me just run this command. I think we can add. Let's add a record here. And to add a record, we say that we use the insert. The insert what we say that we use the insert clause, and you specify where you want to insert. In this case, we want to insert into employees. Employees, and what do you want to insert? You can add a semicolon here. Insert into employees. You want to add values. And in here, we just want to add an ID, maybe 4. Yeah, then employee name. I think today we can add Ericsson. Uh, Ericsson. And then what? Then we want to add the city. I think you can add just Nairobi. Nairobi. Then we can maybe add the salary that Ericsson earns. You can see that Ericsson earns a salary of 90,000. So let's run this. And we try to run this. Let me just remove the wire clause so that we can retrieve all the data. So you notice in this table now, we have in the city column, we have two employees that comes from Nairobi, and this is the scenario that we have also in this table student. We have Mumbai repeated. So the way you can just get maybe one Mumbai or the distinct Mumbai, it's by use of the by use of this clause that is called distinct during the selecting process. So you use the select distinct and then city from maybe in this case we have table student. So for you to retrieve, let's say you want to, in this case we want to retrieve all the we want maybe to retrieve employees living in different cities, and you notice that Nairobi in here is repeated, so we can use distinct to retrieve all the employees living in a different city or a distinct city, and that's why we have now the distinct. Let me add this. We have the distinct clause. Oops. I want to comment out this. I can just use the using distinct to retrieve distinct data or unique entries, or maybe we can let's use records. I can comment out this. I don't know why it is not commenting out. Oops. We should be able to comment out this. Oops. I don't know what is not happening with this computer today. I should be able to. Okay, let's just use the distinct. So you can use the select, and we want to select from. We want to select. We want to select city. Let's say you want to select city or employee name and city. So it's emp name, comma city, and we want to use the distinct. Is that the correct? Let me just confirm if that is the select. We should start with a select distinct so that it can select only distinct employee name and city. So you should start with the distinct. Distinct distinct should be distinct employee name and city, and we want to select this one from employees. So if we run this, let's just highlight that and run it. Did this run really well? Select distinct employee name city from. Let's run this again. And you notice that in this case now, we also getting like the whole we are also getting like all the records that is including Nairobi and Nairobi again, simply because we for select distinct employee name and city, like it's just going like to check the distinct records with the employee name and city. That's why we are retrieving all these. We are retrieving all these records. But if you were to filter using a just city, let's see what what will happen here. Now you notice that we have city. That is Thika Road, Nairobi, and Kasarani. You notice that the Nairobi is not repeated now. But if you use the employee name also, it will also check for. It will now check for both the employee name, distinct employee name, and city. So I think that is it with the distinct. If you just happen to use maybe let's say m underscore this, oops. If you just happen to use the emp name, you notice that you're going to retrieve all the you're going to retrieve all the you're going to retrieve all the records here because all the names are distinct. But if maybe had a similar name, let's say we have another Erickson somewhere, or maybe we have a Mosumbi somewhere, it's just going to retrieve just one Amos. That is how we use the distinct clause. Uh, in this case also we are saying that MySQL assumes that all keyword if you do not use the distinct keyword. Okay, a question? I think someone mic is on. So we are saying that if you use the select, just the select, maybe city from student, the MySQL will assume that is supposed to retrieve all the data from that table. But now if you use distinct, it will only return unique city. You notice that only unique cities are retrieved. So I think that's all about the distinct. That's all about the distinct clause. And maybe we can jump into some. We can check how you can do some just simple calculations using the SQL select command. It's possible for you do some calculation. Like in here, we just have just a simple calculation whereby we have select 4 times 3, and you're also going to get you're going to get an answer for that. Uh, so this normally happens when you want maybe to let's say we want to do what let's say maybe you want to let me run this first. Select all from employees. So let's say you want to add all the salary, like you want to get all the salary for the employees. So you notice that you are going to do some calculations. So with MySQL, it comes with or it helps you to do such calculations. Like in this case, you can just select maybe name, and then maybe like in this case here, we have the salary multiplied by 12. We can also pick a salary for a certain employee here, and we multiplied it by the number of months. Let's say Sylvia earns 50,000. That is from the database, and you want to calculate the total salary for the 12 months. So meaning that you can take salary, you multiply by 12. That is what you are trying to do here. Like select name, and then salary you multiply by 12, and this is now from the employee table. We can also check here. We have select maybe certain name, salary we multiply by 12 as annual salary from. This is the clause that I was talking about, that will help you modify the output that you get from the database. Let's say maybe it's a name for like after you have done this calculation, and I think you should do this calculation. Let's just try to do this calculation so that you can at least see what I'm talking about. So first thing is we are doing select. Select. Do you want to select? We can select. Let's select what? In this case, we just want to select. Let's say. Let me see this. I think you can just select all. You can just multiply. You can just multiply all, so that you can have select. You can select. Let's say name, employee name, and then we can have salary. We multiply this by something like 12, and we want to take these as annual salary. They want to do this from employees. Then we can have semicolon. Let's see what you're going to get here. So you notice that we have just done just a simple calculation whereby we are selecting the employee name, and then we want we want to retrieve all the employees' salary multiplied by 12, and even we go ahead and give that column a name, that is the annual salary, and then we are retrieving this from the employees table. So we are going like to get the employee name, that is if it's Sylvia, we take her salary and then we multiply it by 12, and that will give us around, I don't know how much is this. I think it's around 600,000 for the annual salary. Also, we do the same for Charlotte, Embosumbi, Erickson, and Erickson. And I don't know why we have Erickson duplicated. Um, I think that's all. That's how you can just do some simple calculations. And in fact, these are some of the calculations that will help you, because you might be doing an analysis, and the analysis requires you to. It is from now the database that you should be able to calculate there. Maybe let's say for instance, in this database here, let me show you. In this database here, uh, let me just click this. Let me just run this. You notice that in this database, specifically this table that is called employees, we don't have like the annual salary for each employee, but there is this column that can aid us to get uh, to get the annual salary. And now we are going to do some calculations for us to get the annual salary. So you're not like going to be provided with everything in your database, but at least you will have information that you can manipulate to get more insights. All right. So, and I think I've shown you how you can even get the annual salary from these. You can add a column here that is called maybe annual salary when you are doing maybe your your analysis. So I think that is basically the importance of these calculations. Um, so in a question from the simple calculations, there are so many calculations by there that you can do. I just use the simplest one, that is a multiplication calculation. There is another one here that we are saying that select name and then the date of birth. There's date of birth from a student, but this one doesn't have a calculation. I think this is the best example to use for simple calculations. So if no question, then I think yesterday we covered this. Yesterday we covered this whereby you were selecting a specific record using the where clause. I think I went ahead and just used the where clause before you had learned that, but it's okay, because now today it will be at least now you are familiar with the where clause and how it is used. So like in this case, we are using the select from student where city is equals to Mumbai, and you only retrieve the data where city is equals to Mumbai. I think that's all. That's all about the where clause, and there is these relational operators that we use with where clause. Because again, when you want to use I think you should note these, that where you want to use these clause, you must use these relational operators, because after where clause you pass a condition. I think you have seen that. Like in this case, we are selecting from student where, and then this is the condition that we want to. We want our we want our we want to this is the condition that we want to use to retrieve specific records. So anytime you use where, it's always followed by a what by a condition. And at these conditions, we put them using these relational operators. It can either be is equals, it's greater, less than, greater or equal. You know, there is others that are is, like, in, between. So these are the kind of conditions that you will always pass after the where clause. And you can see, like, for example, here we have a select name city from student, where city we are getting that we want to get that city for Mumbai, and also we want to pass the class here. The class is greater than 10. Let's see what we retrieve by these. Select from let's see this. So the first condition here is where city is equals to Mumbai, and then the second condition here is where the class is greater than 10. And you can pass two conditions. You can pass two conditions. Let me show you how you can pass two conditions. Let's say we want to retrieve what? We want to retrieve the salary for an employee that is greater than 50, and the employee must be coming from a specific city. So you notice that we are going to have two conditions, and that is why now we bring in the and condition here. Let's see that. For the logical operators, we have or, add, and not. So we can join two. We can join two conditions using these logical operators, because you can use or and not. And I noticed that not, we use it as a exclamation. This one as you can use this. You use it as an exclamation. Let's see how we can have two conditions after the where clause. And in this case, I want us to retrieve a salary that is greater than 50,000, and the employee must come from. In this case, we can have employee coming from Nairobi. So the first thing that you're going to say is select from. What do we want to select first? We want to select employee. We want to emp name underscore name. We want to select employee name and what? We want to select employee name where where city is equals to we can pass Nairobi. Let's have city is equals to Nairobi, and then we add the and logical operator, and salary is greater than something like, let's say, 45,000. and then maybe we can run our command here. Let's see what you're going to get. Oops. And I think I'm having an error here because we are saying that unknown column employee name. Oops, let's see what we have here. Yeah, I think we did not indicate the we want to get all these data from which table, because I think we have just said that select emp name where city is equals to Nairobi and salary is greater than 45,000. So we should add from this table. That is from employees. And I don't know where I'm getting this kind of. We should start with this. Oops. Select from employees and then where we pass the condition. I think that is the right syntax. So let me just run this. And I notice that now we are just getting the employee name Erickson. I think we had a duplicate in our database. Let's also add salary part. I think also we can add, what should we add? Let me see. Let's add the city. And see what you're going to get here. So I think this is why we just have these are the records that meets our condition here, because you are retrieving the employee name, salary, and city from employees where city is equals to Nairobi and the salary is greater than 45,000. So it means that these are the records that meets this condition. So I think that is how you can use two conditions and joining them by the logical operators. So I don't know if there is any question up to that point. Any question? Do you have any question? Any question, Amos?
No.
Judy? Judy, are you following? Judy, if you can hear me, are you able to follow? And also we have Nyambura. Nyambura, are you able to follow?
Yes,
Okay. What about Megan?
I'm fine.
Are you fine?
Yeah.
So I think those are any question? I think someone has just raised. Okay, David Joroge.
So my question is,
Yes.
under the employee name, if we wanted to add a second name, how can we achieve this?
Okay. Now having, like, let's say in this case, we just have one name, right? So how you can achieve that is just by adding. You notice that in this table here. Okay, who can remind us how you are checking the structure of a table? I think that is something we checked yesterday. Gilbert, can you remind us how we check the structure of a table? Gilbert, if you can hear me, will help Gilbert. I think yesterday we learned how you can check the structure of a table. Uh,
Describe.
yes, yes. We use the describe. Use the describe uh, clause, describe, and then the table name. In this case, we are using the employees. The reason why I want to describe these, and I can see I have an error here, describe employees. Mm. Oh yeah, I think I have a typo here. Should be employees. So David Joroge, if you were to check this table, you notice that we just have how many fields? We just have 4 fields, and these fields we created them during during the creation of this table. So you can alter, you can use the, but we are going to check these later on, how you can alter the alter this table by adding a column. So it means that it's possible for you to add maybe the first name and the second name in your table. But that is something that we're going to cover maybe at the end of these at the end of this lecture. I think it's somewhere below. Yeah, just I think, let me see. It's very possible to alter that and even add. I think it's somewhere here. Let me see this. The alter command. I think it's just somewhere here. Modifying the table structure. We are going to see how you do that. Maybe by the end of today's lecture. Are we good, Joroge?
Yes.
Yes. By the end of this lecture, you're going to see how we do that. So I think that's all about that's all about how you can use multiple conditions and joining those conditions using logical operators for you to retrieve the data that you want to analyze. I think the other thing that maybe we can check here, we can check specifying the range of values, and specifying the range of values, use the still in the where, still in the condition, still in structuring your condition. You can also specify the range of values that you want to retrieve, and we use the between operator. So let's say maybe you want to select from employees where salary is between let's say 5,000 and 10,000. You can use this the between operator. I think you can just implement that very fast. Let's say maybe we just want to retrieve we want to retrieve what? Let me see this database again. We want to retrieve uh, we want to retrieve the names of employees that earns a salary of 45,000, in between 45,000 and 70,000. That one is just quite easy because you're just going to use the select. These are just but simple commands. We want to select the emp name, the emp underscore name, that is, and I think maybe we can include the salary, comma salary. Oops. From where? Let's see this. From let's say we are collecting this from employees, and then we add the is it the where class? Let's see this. That is where. I see that right. That is where salary is between. Salary is between. Let's have between. That is between 45,000 and let's say 80,000. Should be 80,000. I think I wrote 800,000. Should be 80,000. And then you see the data that you're going to get. So you notice that you are getting all the employees earning the salary of this range. That is 45,000 and 80. That is of this range. That is 45,000 to 80,000. You can also maybe play around with the values here. For instance, let me say I want to get employees earning 25,000 and let's say 60. Was to run these, you notice that the employees that we are getting in here, they just have the salary of less than 60,000. And yeah, that is Sylvia and Charlotte. This is how you query your database. Let's say you want to get maybe you want to get a range of certain values. That is the structure of the command that you're supposed to use. So let's get to. You can also specify a list, and to specify a list, we use the in operator. Maybe you want to you want to retrieve maybe a list of values, and that list must meet some condition. So we use the in operator. Let's say you want to select that is all from employee where salary in that is 5,000 that is 5,000 comma 10,000. You can also use the or. I think it's good we implement these. We see how how it's working. I think I can just copy these. Let me copy paste this. But in this case now I want to use we want to use in. So that is where salary in. That is, you can put this into bracket. Oops. Let's use in. You can use 50,000, 45,000. Maybe let's use 70,000. Oops. So let's run this. And I notice that we are just getting there. We are just in the list of the salaries here. Let me just run this. In the list of these salaries, we just want to retrieve. This is the list now. We want just to retrieve salaries for employees with 50,000 and 70 and 70,000, and that is why we are saying that we can, instead of using in, we can also use, you can also use or. But now with or, you must specify what you must. The condition will be a bit large, because you must have those two conditions. That is, salary is equals to 5,000, or salary is equals to 10,000. So, but in is quite it's quite straightforward, and you're not going to maybe to type so much. So you can also change this one maybe to something like 90, and you notice that you're going to get the salary for 50,000 for employee with 50,000 and 90,000. So you can just run these. You notice that we are getting, that is 50,000 and Ericsson. Ericsson. This means that we have a duplicate value. We have a duplicate value that is called that is the Ericsson. The Ericsson record is a duplicate. I think we run these the command for inserting twice. That is why we have this duplicate. But I think before the end of today's lecture, also we should be able to see how you can set constraints for a certain table to make sure that you are not able to add duplicate values. So I think that's all about with the in operator. But I think after that we can get into pattern matching, and with pattern matching. With pattern matching is we just like try to retrieve data based on a certain pattern. And in this case also we are saying that a string pattern can be used in SQL using the following. That is wildcard. We can use the percentage, this percentage sign, and this represent a substring in any length. There is an underscore where, but now this one will represent a single character. Let's see an example here. Let's say we have this string that is A, and then you add the percentage. the percentage sign. So you're saying that these represent any string starting with a character A. So let's say maybe you have a movie database, and you want to for easier search, you want to maybe get all the movies that have titles starting with A, or maybe a different what, a different character. So you can use the pattern matching, uh, whereby you are going to use this wildcard and the like operator. So you're going to see how you include all that. So let's say maybe this one is for uh, A, then percentage will return all the strings that are starting with A, but you can have now these underscore, and if we have, let's say, two underscore, that is underscore underscore A, we are saying that represent any three character string adding with adding with adding with adding with adding with A. So with this one, we are going to retrieve any character string adding with an A character. You can also use both, whereby we have an underscore and a percentage. So in this case, we are going to represent any string having a second character, that is B. For three underscores, represent any three letter string. So we are going to see how you can apply these. Like in here, we have an example here, and in this example we have, let's see, we have a select from a student table where the name like A and then percentage. We say that A then percentage represented a string starting with character A. So, and I think we can implement this in our table here, because it's just an easy command. Let's say we want to retrieve the data of all the employees starting with, maybe let's say S, or maybe we can have E. So we can have select. We can select from. Let's see this. We can select. No, let's have the emp. I want to retrieve the employee name. The emp underscore name. That is from. We want to retrieve this from employees table, and then we just pass in we can just pass in our condition. So in this case, our condition is where name like. In our case, we are going to have the emp name like, and then we just specify the starting character. So that is the select employee name from employees, and then we use the where, that is where clause. And what we want to check is also emp name like. Then we have the percentage what. In this case, we just want, maybe let's say we want S. This is the pattern, and the pattern should always be in a quote. I think that is it. I'm hoping we got that syntax right. That is select emp name from employees where emp name like s. This is the pattern that we want to. Oops. Just try to run this again. Did we miss out something? Let me see again. I think something is wrong here. That is percentage, then we should be getting this pattern here. That is select from student where name like that is a percentage. Let me see this. I think you should be able to get let me have a look at this table. So retrieving employee name where select from employee name where employee name like let's see this. Oops. What is not happening here? Okay, are we missing something? Okay, let me just try to select all instead of having a specific. Let me see this. Are we missing something really? I think something is wrong here. Oh, yes, someone has just, who is that? Let me check. Someone mic is on.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yes,
think
Eric. Yes, Eric. Yeah.
it should start with the rate then percentage.
And what are we doing? Let me see. Oh, yeah. I think that is why we are getting it wrong. Yeah. It just means something on the syntax. I think you should be very keen. So you're starting with S then percentage, right? Thank you, Eric. I think Eric, you are very keen uh, on this syntax. I think that is what I was missing, by the way. And in this case, now we are getting like Sylvia. We have all the records that start with S. You can also have, let's say, maybe all the records that start with A. Oops. And we have the record for Amos, because Amos starts with A. I don't know why I was missing that syntax. Yeah, but that is it. I was given an example of why maybe you have a database that has millions of movies, and maybe you want to retrieve a movie that start with a string from that database. For you to get it very fast, you can use this kind of filters. So what else? The other one was on having underscore underscore a. And you notice in this case we are saying that this one will represent any three character string adding with where. Unfortunately, we don't have such record in our database, but you can use them. You can use them in at your own free time and check if you're able to implement them. So that is in the case of the underscore underscore and a certain character, and then the underscore b, and then a percentage, and also for these three underscores. You can just try to use them at your own free time. Um, so let's get to selecting specific rows using the where clause. And for specific to get specific rows, let's say maybe you want to search for null values. In this case, we are searching for null values in our table. So we just use the select from maybe in this case we have the student table where city is null. We use this operator that is called is operator. I think we can have I think we can use this. This one is just quite easy to implement. And let's say we want to get all the records where city is Nairobi. Or maybe even you can try the one we have here, selecting from employees where city is NAR. In this case, we are going to get 0 records. Let's try that. Select out from what? Out from employees. That is employees, and then we had the where city, in this case we have city, then we use the is clause, is null. In this case we are not going to get any record because all our city here they have values. So let's just try out this, and you notice that we are not getting any record, simply because all our city, all our city, all the city, all all the cities in this column have values, and that is why we are getting zero records. But let's say maybe where city is, we can have where city is Nairobi. I think I should enclose this. Nairobi. We should have where city. Let's use this, not null. And let's see what you're going to get. All these are the inbuilt constraints, that is such as null, not null. And I notice that now we are retrieving all the values for all the values, because all the city column has values in each record. I think we have implemented the is and is not. I think you can also use the is not nar. These are the kind of commands that you can just try to use in different databases. So is not, we have is, the is operator, and is not null. So let's see what we have is not null, and we have it here is not null, and you notice that we are receiving all the values. But in case you have maybe let's say you forgot to add some values during the inserting process, of course it will read null. So those are the kind of and this one is mostly used when maybe you want to check the columns that have null values. You are going to see that in later topics. So I think that is it with the is and is not null. Let's proceed to the order by clause. I think I said we would cover these. And ordering query results. You can order your query results, and we use the order by clause. So we are saying that a query result can be ordered in maybe ascending order or descending order, based on what you are asked. So let's say maybe you want to select maybe from this table that is called student, and you want to order by city. That one is just quite simple. So let's select from employees. In this case is we are using the student. So this is order by. You can select from employees and order by. Instead of using where, we can order by city. Let's see this. Let's see what you're going to get with this. So or you can order by city, you can order by employee name. So let's see. Let's see what we have here. There is something that you should note here. But anytime you use the order by default you are going like to be getting you're going to like to be receiving the records in ascending order. That is from maybe A to Z. Yeah, from A to Z. That is by default. But you can order by descending order, maybe using there is a keyword that is used to to retrieve or maybe order your records by descending order. Use this keyword that is called disk to mean descending order. So let's see what we have here. When we say that we want to order by salary. Uh, let's have this and see what you're going to get. And then now you notice that if you check our records here, we are retrieving these records in ascending order. That is from the person who is earning the smallest salary to the person who is earning the who is earning the the guy who is earning the top salary here. But if maybe we add the desk keyword here, you notice that there will be difference. There will be we are going like to have the salary arranged from the largest to the smallest. That is in descending order. But by default the salary will be arranged in ascending order. That is from the smallest salary to the largest salary. So we just have to retrieve all that data. So the guy who is earning the smallest salary here is Sharet, who is earning a salary of 45,000, up to Ericsson, who is earning a salary of 90,000. That is how we use the order by the order by clause. So I think by now you should be able to retrieve data in different ways using different clauses, such as maybe where you can use order by, and these clauses will help you to query for specific data in large databases. So you just have like to join them using the correct syntax for you to retrieve specific data. I can see here we have another query here that says select name, F name, city from student where name like, and then there is order by class. You notice that this one now is it's it's quite it's a large query. It's a large query whereby we are using like and order by in the same command. And I think we had when I was introducing the where clause, I think there is a point where I said we are going to check the order by. There is this. Let's check that. Command here. This one. I think now you have seen how you can consolidate all those all those clauses to form a large command that retrieves specific data, like using the select. You can either choose to use the distinct based on what you asked, then from the table, and then you're using the where to pass the condition, and then even we go ahead and use the order by clause also. So I think that's all uh, for the select query. So after that, I want us to just get into with the remaining minutes. I want us just to check the insert records, how you can insert records. I think yesterday I rushed with the insert records because we had to put data into the table so that you can at least see, so that we can try to manipulate that. But today I want us to also check the insert records in details. We see how you can insert records to specific tables in a database, and we use the insert into keywords. I think you guys you have already seen that. And if you are keen enough, now we are in the DML. That is a data manipulation. That is the data manipulation language, whereby we are kind of trying to manipulate the tables by inserting the records, updating the records, deleting records from tables. So that is now the DML. That is the data. I think yesterday I introduced to you the four types of commands that we the four types of commands that we are going to check. That is the data definition. I think you have already seen that. Now the data manipulation. Also going to check the transaction. Maybe later on. So let's get into the insert and see what you can do with the insert. And also we check the syntax. So it is insert into, this is the syntax. You can always master the syntax and then the rest will be easy. So that is the insert into. This is the keywords that we use to insert a record, and then you must specify the table that you want to insert into. To some extent, you can even add the column lists. You can add the column lists. Let's say you have, like in our case here, we have how many columns? We have the employee ID, employee name, city, salary. You can go to an extent of adding even the column list, and then we use the value keyword to put the values, all the data that you want to insert. So we are saying that if value is not available for a column, null can be used. So let's say maybe you wanted to add a certain data in the table, and maybe for various reasons, maybe let's say you don't have a data for a specific column. Let's say maybe date of birth. You can always use the null. Just maybe to indicate that you don't have the data for that specific column or field. So we are saying that let's say suppose a table student has been created is by a given structure. That is where we have a student ID, we have name, uh, first name, and then we have the date of birth, city, then the class. So this is how we can add a record in this table. So we always have the insert into, and then you specify the name of the table, that is the student, and then we indicate the values that you want to add. That is in this case we have uh, the student ID is S1. We have the name of the student is Amibitab, and then we have the final or the first name is Harivansh. I think these are Arabic names. And then we have the date of birth, we are including that. And then we have the city is Mumbai, and then we have the class. The class is 12. So I think we can just create a new table. Let's see how we can create a table here. And I said there is two ways you can create table. You can either use the command, the create table command, or you can just get into your working bench, and in the database that you want to add a table, if I just click this drop down here, you notice that I'm getting options for tables. And if I was to click even the drop down here again, I'll see the number of tables that I have in this database. So we can add you can add another table by just clicking this table, and then you just right click that tables, and then you'll get options. We'll get options like create table like, uh, and then you can see options like users category. You can also search table. You can also import table maybe from an external source. But in this case, I want us to create a table. So I'll just click create table. In here, I'll just have to add the table name. In this case, I want to create a table name that is called students. After that, what else do I need to add to this table? I can have, let's see what we can add in this table. We said that in a table, we always have some fields for each table. So in this case, I think you can just create this table, table student. Then I think we need I just have like two. Okay, let me just in this case we have we can have this column name that is called student ID. I want to create a table like this one. STID. We can have STID. I, I don't want to talk much on how you can set constraint, because I think at the end of this lecture we are going to see how you can set constraints. but at least now we can set the data type for it. And the data type for this, we are saying that it is of type integer. So that is why we are choosing int. But there are other data types that you can add. But in this case, we want to use the integer. And then in here, this is where you set the constraints. But I don't want to dwell on this because we have. I think we are going to see how we add the constraint here. But I think yesterday I mentioned something to do with the primary key. You always represent it as PK, and the NN not null. They're not null. So we are indicating that the student ID should not be null. So for the unique and the other constraint, I think we are going to check them. But so let's add another column here, and this column I want it to be. I think you can just have a name. Let's have F name for the student, and in this case, this will be variable character, and I think even I can set the maximum length of 45 characters. We can also say that this one should not be null. Let's add another field. That is let's have the date of birth, city, and class. So very first, let's have DOB. The date of birth also can be variable character, and then let's have we can have city. City also can be of variable character, and then we can also say that yeah, I think you can say it's not null, but for the city can be. I think also you should set that the city should not be null. So let's get into the last column here, and in this case we want to indicate the class. So this one can take variable character, and also we say that it is not null. So after creating all these columns and setting their data types and also some constraint here, in this case I want not the F name, but the student ID to be the primary key, meaning that the primary key, what it normally does, it will just it means that we can't have a duplicate, because it will identify each record. We are going to identify each record by this primary key, meaning that it can't be repeated for a certain record. So after setting up the column names, we always click apply, and I said that when you click apply, this one is auto generated. That is the create table bounty dot student. This one is auto generated. So then you can just finish that by clicking apply here, and then we just do the finish. So after that, we should have a table. You notice that we have now a table here that is called students. If you were to just check the table structure, you notice that we have a table with empty values. That is the student ID, F name, date of birth, city, and a class. So let's say that we want to add now records in this. It's quite easy, because like in this case we just have to use this syntax here. And I want to do that very fast because of time. So it is insert. We are just going to insert like 4 records. So insert into. In this case, we are inserting into the students. Into the student. Oops, am I getting an error here? Oh, because the the command is not complete. So it is insert into students, and then we indicate that we want to add values. So and then now the values here. So for the ID, we said that it is an integer, so we can just put maybe 1, then comma. For the first name, it's a variable character, and we said that variable characters, they must be enclosed, either using a single quote or a double quote. So we can have the first name as maybe James, comma, then date of birth. We can talk of 1989. And then what else do we need to add? The city. We can say that James comes from Kakamega. Kakamega. I don't know if Kakamega is a city. I think we can use Nakuru. Nakuru is a city. Then we can have the class. In this case, maybe we can use James is in class 7. And then a semicolon. So that's all. That's all for an insert command. So insert into the table name, values, and then the values. In this case, we have ID, all the variable characters or characters or var. I think we use the var or varchar. They must be enclosing in these quotations or even text, because we have text data type. So if now we execute these, we should be able to add this record. So let's use the select command, and you want to select or from students to see the records. So let me do that. Let me execute that, and now you notice that we have a record. We have inserted a record in our database. So you can duplicate these maybe two times. Let me copy these, and maybe you can just change the value. Yeah, let's have Eric. Eric was born 1909. We can maybe change city to something like Nairobi, and then class maybe 9. You can also paste another record here. Let's have 4 records. We can have someone like Kimani, maybe Otieno. Say this is 2001. Otieno, supposed to be Otieno. Let's say Kimani was born 2015. For the city, you can say, let's use the class 2, class 6. So we can just highlight all these and execute them. outside. I think now we are getting into some troubles here, simply because, or if you are to check here down, you say that we are getting an error of duplicate entry, and this duplicate entry means that we have same primary keys here. That is why I want to change this to 3, then 4. Now I can just execute this. I think we should be able to execute that. Let me see. Let me try to execute this and see. Oops, we have a problem again. Let me execute one by one. Good. And now you notice that we have all the 4 records. That is how we do an insert. An insert. That is how we do an insert command. So I think that's all about the inserting. That is how we do the inserting records in tables. And I think that's all. I don't think we can. There is other. You can modify that. You can modify that inserting inserting command. But now I think from tomorrow, I think we can check how you can insert maybe data from different tables. Let's say maybe we want to insert some data from employees to student table. We are going to see how we do that by inserting records from another table. But something that I must say is that for you to insert records from another table to a certain table, those tables they must have the same column structure. So we are going to see that, and that normally happens when you are trying to export data, maybe from different sources. So I think that's all for today. I don't know if there is any question. Uh, any question about the insert or any other thing? So any question, Joseph? I think David, you are not going to cover how you can alter how you can update a field in a table today because of time. So any question on what we have covered today? Kezia, I think we have Kezia, do you have any question?
No, I'm all right.
You're right. Good. We have Joseph.
I'm good. I'm good.
You're good. And what about Charlotte? Sylvia, any question?
All good.
Oh, you're good.
Yes.
Yes, I think then we can meet tomorrow to so that we can continue with where we can. I think we are going to continue from the inserting records from other tables. So you guys have a good night. Yeah, let's meet tomorrow.